While many Central Texas students are already back in school or heading back in the next few days, Manor ISD students and staff have one more week of summer, yet district officials are already making decisions now to try and keep their community safe in this pandemic. Joining me now to talk a little bit more about this upcoming school year, we have Manor ISD Superintendent Dr. Spencer. Dr. Spencer, thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about the things that we're doing in Manor ISD for this upcoming school year.
Yes, you are doing a lot. Let's start starting today. Face masks will be required on district property. That decision defies state orders. So can you explain just a little bit about the district's reasoning behind requiring these masks?
So first and foremost, I'd like to say our scholars and staff safety is number one for us. That's really critical and important to us, to our Board of Education, to myself, and to my executive team here in Manor ISD. It's just unfortunate that we're even having to engage in this conversation because of the political tennis game that has been going back and forth with the decision making, but for not on our behalf, on the state's behalf, but for us, it's just important that our scholars and our staff are safe. And so as we watch the science, as we monitor what Austin Public Health is saying, as we monitor what CDC is saying, everyone is pretty much articulating that wearing masks, the simple act of wearing masks, will allow for us to be able to cut down perhaps on some of the cases and rise in cases that we're seeing throughout the county and throughout the city of Austin. So again, it's just us wanting to make certain that we are keeping our scholars and our staff as safe as we possibly can. So that's important to us. And we're hoping that we get the support from the governor around this. We're hoping that we get the support from and continue to get the support from the county around the decision that we have made.
Dr. Spencer, what happens if a student or faculty member does not comply with this new rule in the classroom to wear masks?
So for us, we're not looking to make anything punitive. However, we are going to definitely adhere to our mask mandate. So we're going to treat this just as we treat most other incidents that may occur within a schoolhouse. We're going to have some conversation with the individual, and that starts at the schoolhouse, and informing them of what the requirements are, what the expectations are. Of course, we will involve our parents in that conversation so we can solicit some support and some help from the parent to make sure that the young person is adhering to the expectation that we have in place. We are engaging in restorative justice, restorative circles this year as one of the practices that we have to make sure that young people understand the importance of making appropriate decisions, but then also understanding the importance of continuously monitoring their actions. But we're doing the exact same thing with the adults. We had surveys that went out to our families and went out to our staff. And over 85% of our folks, respectively, have already highlighted that they are going to wear masks. So we don't anticipate that this is going to be a problem for us in Manor ISD.
And Dr. Spencer, I know we have a couple more questions. We're trying to get there to those questions quickly, but I want to ask about the virtual option because there is no virtual option in your district as of right now. So viewers want to know, why is that? And what's your message to parents who are concerned about sending their kid back to school with this in-person instruction?
So I do want to highlight that we do have a virtual learning academy option, and we had that in place. We put that in place last week. We've already had a good number of our parents to sign up for the virtual learning academy who will be participating in the virtual learning academy. And in fact, we've had a few of our parents who have communicated now that we have the mask mandate, they now want their scholars to return in person. But for in person, we're making sure that we're keeping folks safe, because that's ultimately what our goal is to keep all of our scholars and staff safe. But we do have the virtual learning academy option.
Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, and what other measures do you have in place in the classroom besides face masks to keep everyone safe?
Yes. So we're also encouraging young people and staff to wear face shields, and we're providing all of this equipment to everyone. Face shields, we're putting in place desk shields, which are in place at the moment. We're making certain that we're doing cleaning of every single spot location within the campus. If we have any issues with any outbreaks, we're immediately activating our task force, which is responsible for updating our dashboard, also referring individuals to our decision-making tree. So if you have symptoms, this is what you do. We're encouraging our staff and requiring our staff to actually engage in a 2-question self-assessment every morning to be able to determine if it's safe for them to return back to work. Do you have a fever? Do you have any symptoms? If so, we're expecting you to activate that task force so that we can kick in gear to engage in the process that we have in place.
Dr. Andre Spencer, it sounds like you all are prepared. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And to all of our scholars and parents who are watching, we look forward to seeing you on Monday, the 23rd, bright and early for a great new school year. Thank you so much.